Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Claire Zammit, and I am so happy to be here today to introduce you to another powerful and inspiring woman leader. Sharon Lee Williams was born in Montreal and raised in the foster care system. And she transformed her challenging beginnings into a vibrant and hugely successful career in the entertainment industry as a TV host and singer, performing alongside industry legends such as Ray Charles, Alice Cooper, and so many more. She's now an author and transformational leader, an entrepreneur. In her 70s, she now regards this era as her life's most meaningful phase. She is the producer and host of the upcoming TV show Outraised Voices, and her memoir, Outraised: Finding My Voice Beyond Foster Care, showcases her journey. She contributed a chapter called Scar Tissue in the forthcoming to-be best-selling book, The Ripple Effect, which is an anthology that spotlights how leaders have transformed their own painful experience into potent social activism. Her mantra is, I am God's unfinished work of art. She left the finishing touches to me. Sharon Lee embodies resilience and self-discovery, and it's such a joy to welcome you here and shine the light on your brilliant insights and body of work and vision for social transformation. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Claire. Thank you. It's great to be here.
So great to be here. And I love your story. Your story is such an incredible journey of pain, of struggle that you have turned into something beautiful. Can you share with us, just to create context for what we're going to speak about today, just how you became such a passionate advocate for children and young adults who are aging out of the foster care system?
Well, I'm going to say I don't remember, obviously being a baby, but my life coming through the system from a baby to aging out at the age of between 16 and 17. Within that time, I remember the struggles. I remember the hurt. I remember going to church and looking at the faces of women in church, hoping that I would see my mother, that I would find the face of my mother in that church, because I didn't know who she was. And as I went through life, I didn't realize that some of these pains that I didn't have a name for, I didn't have a tool for, I didn't know what limiting beliefs are. There was no words for it. I just knew there was a big doggone hole in my heart. And I just wanted to know, who am I? Who am I? Where do I belong? Why was I given up? And as I got older, to be honest, I wasn't involved in the foster care system until probably I hit, I don't know, 40, and really said, what can I do? What can I do? Because I know the youth aging out of care, it's the feelings, things might have changed, the stipends might have changed, but the feelings, the loneliness, the aloneness is still resonates for these children. And they become adults like me with unhealed scars that they take into relationships and become mothers or fathers, and don't know why they're behaving in certain ways, or don't reflect on it and don't know how to change it. So that became my passion. How do I do that? And I knew I couldn't be a foster mother. I couldn't do that. But there had to be some way I could give back. And this is the way that I have found. I've come to this point in my life that I said, okay, how do we do something? How do I do something? How do I make a difference? And I hope I hope that just standing in my being, who I am, makes a difference. But Outraised Voices, the show, will make a difference. The book um,
Mm,
will make a difference. And I just want to show up. I
mm,
wanted to show up.
mm. Well, you have such a powerful and evocative voice. Just as you were speaking there, you, I could, I could just begin to feel and have insight into that experience and just the vulnerability of children in the foster care system. And can you share why this time of young adulthood, when children are aging out of care, is such a focus of the work that you do?
Well, I would say because I remember it. It was so tough for me because aging out of care for me was like, yes, freedom. I got to get out. I ran away. So it was freedom. And I thought freedom was wonderful. I didn't have to answer to anybody. I could be my own woman, which I wasn't ready to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I had nobody to tell me
Mm-hmm.
what being a woman or, what that was all about. And I was on the verge of getting myself into big, big trouble. And I know that youth today, that hasn't changed. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at the statistics of especially young women, and I'll speak to young women, I know young
Yeah.
men end up in the penal system and all that stuff, but young women who come out and we're still looking for love, we're still looking for home. And home can be some partner that is abusive, but that's home,
Mm-hmm.
because you still have these scars, you still have this, um, yeah, you still have the scars or the memory. What does that mean? What does freedom mean?
Right.
To
So
be,
these
and
these children, right? Then they turn 18, but at 18, you're not really formed as an adult. So the way the system is set up, would you say it's true? A lot of families no longer have the resources to provide care after a child ages out, and they're no longer receiving that kind of economic support.
well, the system does give you a stipend up to a certain age. I know it changed during the pandemic, but I know for myself that when I was around 15 and wanted to leave, how many foster parents want to take in a teenager? So you're really in the system that time, or you're in some
Mm-hmm.
sort of a home, that you're placed in not a home, family home, but a communal home of some sort with social workers or somebody to monitor you. So it's overwhelming for the system. It's
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming for the social workers. There aren't enough of anybody.
Right. And you don't have somebody tracking you in the way a parent would track a child, right? And be really
Mhm.
holding them in that container as they're
Yeah,
making big decisions
yeah,
in this period of their lives that are shaping their lives.
yes, yes,
And how much untapped talent and creativity and potential exist within this community without this holding and presence and nurturing. So powerful. Can you share with us about your vision for your new TV venture, the Outraised Voices TV show?
well, Outraised Voices will focus on have conversations with youth aging out of care, foster parents, adoptees, anyone who's been raised outside their family of origin. Now, that could be a short time, or it could be like mine, or it could be. It could be a short time or a long period of time like mine. But there are kids who go into kinship, and also I said raised outside their family of origin, raised outside their culture of origin, and raised outside their country of origin. I came across a story recently that this woman from another country had been raised in Canada, and her birth mother understood that her baby was born, stillborn, but it was like a baby farm taken out. And so the adoptive parents didn't know that that mother uh, they didn't know the mother was unaware that their child was alive, right? There's so many stories out there. It's
Wow.
not just, so that's where the country of origin sort
Mhm.
of comes in, and the culture of origin. And that's why the TV show, it's just having conversation. We need conversations about it. And because the show, a weekly show, we'll have these conversations consistently, as
Mhm.
opposed to having uh, a piece, a nice piece in a show, a good
Mhm.
feeling piece, or something you read in the news where some child ends up somewhere because some horrible piece. But this will be we'll talk consistently about being outraised, and uh, provide a place where youth and adults can hear the conversation, be part of the conversation, be part of the education and the growth, and
Mhm.
also that, I wanted to say as well, we are going to introduce artists because my background is music. So I will be introducing young, inspiring artists. And
That's such a powerful vision when you bring together young adults, when you bring together adoptive parents, social workers, artists, and you're facilitating a community conversation
mm,
that I think ultimately, I know in the work that you're doing, you are creating a new story of the value of these young adults and who they are and what they can become and the support and resources so that each of these individuals and groups don't feel isolated in needing to address the issues that are facing this community. So I'm
right.
wondering if you can share with us what it is that you hope the audience is going to take away from the TV show.
Well, I think I have three audiences actually. So the first group would be the group who are curious, who want to know more about foster care, who want to be perhaps potential foster parents or adoptive parents,
Mhm.
and just want to know more people, or how they can help within their own communities, have this conversation. And then the second group would be adults who've been outraised, like myself, who need to heal and need to have this scars, not sorry, to who who have unhealed scars that they would like healed, and that they
Mhm.
hear other voices and other conversations, um, that might help them, to take a step to empower them, so they
Mhm.
feel that they can, I don't know, move forward in the world a little better, to be more
Mhm.
empowered, because there's more of us. And then there's the youth that who I think will hear the conversation from other youth who have been able uh, to navigate the journey. Some who have gone on, I've spoken with youth who have gone on to post-secondary school and all that. How did they navigate that? And
Mhm.
understanding conversations from adults who have had some of these uh, limiting beliefs, or these feelings of aloneness, and so they don't feel so alone. And
Mhm.
maybe hearing the voices of educators and wellness people, maybe they can choose to make choices that would help them take a step, just a step, to empower them to say, yes, there's possibility. The possibilities are out there. I am where I am today, but I don't have to stay there. There are
Right.
possibilities. Other people do it. And oh, yeah. So I'm hoping that is my hope. That is my, yeah, that's my hope.
I love your vision, and this is so deeply needed. And what do you see as the larger change in the world that can happen through these conversations that you're convening with a TV show? What would be your greatest hope for that?
Well, I think that we have to understand the youth. That's the next generation. We want to raise up the next generation to make a more powerful, engaging, wonderful world. And if we don't help them to believe in themselves and to see their own potential and to step into their own possibilities and strength. And I say women because that's what I understand. So if young females understand that they can be their own best friend. Look in the mirror, be your own best friend. And that so knowing that, but also that the if we have that, we have a better world. We just have a better world, and we
Mm-hmm.
want a better world for our youth, for the youth that have children. We want a better world, and we have to support the youth. We have to support
Mm-hmm.
and the adults who have are still struggling
Mm-hmm.
with some of these issues, who are bringing them out into the world. The youth become adults. I am they are me. That's what I say.
From outraised to raised up. I love that
From
vision, right? And what an incredible champion and advocate they have in you, Sharon Lee. It's so
thank you,
inspiring the work that you're
thank you,
doing and
thank
creating. And I'm wondering if you can share with our listeners how they can get involved with this work and connect with you.
Well, how they can connect with me, of course, if you have any themes or conversations you would like me to talk about or like to hear on Outraised Voices, you can reach out to me at Sharon Lee Williams at outraisedvoices.com and find out any information there, and we'll get back to you. But also in your own communities, I would love to hear that you've supported uh, the agencies and the services in your own communities that help youth aging on care, and have a conversation. And this doesn't have to be a conversation in private. We need to open it up. It's all good. So, yeah.
Beautiful. And final words, especially for those young girls, young women who are at that tender age, who might be feeling like you were alone, isolated, under resourced. What might you want to say and share with them from what you've discovered on your own journey?
Well, you are not alone. You are not alone. You have to reach out. There are people who want to help, but you also want to take a step. Take a step. Take a look at yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust what you have, but ask. Reach out. And I would say read. Empower yourself through reading, through asking questions. Find a mentor, find a guide, find a family member, but learn to really like and love who you are, and step forward and, fall, get up, rise, fall, get up, get up. You can do it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're an inspiration. I deeply admire the work that you're doing. Thank you so
You
much.
too, Claire. Thank you.